Welcome back to the program. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You'll also have access to the eyewitness feature with which you can share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. To the northwestern part of the country, the Kaduna State government says it has received over 43,000 applications from prospective teachers in public schools in the state to fill up the 25,000 vacancies following the sacking of over 21,000 unqualified teachers. The government says it has also equally given the 21,000 teachers who did not pass the recent competency test another opportunity for consideration. The State Commissioner for Education, Jafaru Sani, who made the disclosure during a press conference, said that about 12,000 of the sacked teachers have already reapplied in the ongoing recruitment of new ones, and they are working towards deploying the first sets of qualified teachers by February. In spite of the challenges concerning basic education, the number of out-of-school children enrolled into school in Nigeria has improved significantly since 2015. The Registrar and Chief Executive of Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, Professor Josiah Ajiboye, says recent statistics by UNESCO show that the number has dropped to 8.6 million from 10.5 million.
Northern Nigeria appears to be the worst hit as far as the issue of out-of-school children is concerned. And the devastating effects of insurgency has worsened the situation in the northeast. These children between the ages of 3 to 6 now have an opportunity to basic education as they are being enrolled into school.
Next recipient is Aishatu Ibrahim.
This symbolic exercise is meant to flag off the 2017-2018 National Enrollment Campaign in Bauchi State, northeast Nigeria. At the event, Registrar of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, Professor Josiah Ajiboye, identifies the need for more synergy between the federal government and the state to achieve the overall objective of having more children in school, which is now improving.
I want to tell Nigerians that with the effort of this president, with the enrollment drive, and with the school feeding program, the out-of-school children in Nigeria has dropped from 10.5 million to 8.6 million.
This year's enrollment campaign will concentrate on community-level actions with emphasis on house-to-house campaign, as more officials speak on the development.
This will no doubt ensure that no child in the state is left out of school or miss his or her right to education.
Apart from getting children to school, we need to make sure we have, like said before, enough spaces to keep these children in classes, enough teachers, instructional materials, and supervision to ensure that they are progressing in the right direction.
Bauchi State has suffered the influx of internally displaced persons, including out-of-school children. But government and other stakeholders are unrelenting in ensuring that every child gets an education.
And joining us from Abuja to speak on this issue is the Registrar CEO of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, Professor Josiah Ajiboye. Thank you for coming on News Across Nigeria. Now, given that the increased number of children in schools was attributed to the program of the federal government, of which the feeding program was commended, school feeding program, it means poverty was a key factor in children not being enrolled in school. How can the government address this problem further?
Well, thank you very much. Let me say that the government actually recognized the fact, because when this government came on board in 2015, the total figure given for out-of-school children was about 10.5 million. And this actually started from 2004. because of the incident that around 2004, we still have about 4.5 million children out of school. But in as from 2007, this figure rose to 10.2 million. And this was as a result of certain factors. Like you said, poverty could not be out of it. Poverty would be one of the factors that is highly responsible for this, because when you look at the children that are out of school, they are actually largely the children of the poor. Because when you look at the areas that are affected, you discover that this is area that is endemic with endemic poverty. And so the government recognized this factor, and this government, the Minister of Education in his ministerial strategic plan, actually put as a major focus the creating access for children, for out-of-school children. And the school feeding program has been in place in some states of the Federation, and this has tremendously helped in reducing the number of out-of-school. We reviewed the situation, and after about 2 years of this government being in place, it's now been discovered that, well, that figure is coming down, and it's now very clear that if we are able to address the issue of poverty in the country, largely, I think we'll be able to reduce that figure further. Because even if you look at 8.6 million, we are still not out of the woods, okay? We are still not out of the woods, because 8.6 million is more than population of some countries. If you look at some countries, they have population of 2-point-something million. You know, like Botswana is about 2.2, and some other countries like that. Okay? So when you are talking of 8.6 million, it's still staggering. But what we are saying is that the effort of this government in addressing the issue of the school feeding program, and also, you know, providing clothing and materials for children, and providing what we call child-friendly schools in some parts of the country, have greatly helped in reducing this figure. And so if we can target poverty reduction, I'm very sure we'll be able to reduce this figure further for our country.
5% of Nigeria's population, according to UNESCO figures, are under the ages of 15 years. Now, given Nigeria's blossoming population, is the government prepared to handle this problem in the future?
Yeah. In fact, if you look at that population very well, unlike some other countries of the world, especially the western part of the world, where they are having aging population, we are having the youth population that is now, you know, becoming staggering, really, like you said. And this is why the government has taken into consideration how to address the issue of the youth. Because when you are looking at these out-of-school children, we are talking, in talking about out-of-school children, we are looking at those who have never been to school at all, those who have been to school and have dropped out, okay? And that is why it is a big challenge to the government. And this government has looked at it. The Minister of Education specifically make it the cornerstone of his strategic plan to make sure that we address this. Because if we don't address it now, it's going to be compounded. The problem will be compounded, and it's a future challenge.
Very well,
Professor. That's why this government is very serious about tackling the issue of out-of-school children through...
Very well, Professor. As far as that is concerned, see what's happening in Kaduna State. See what's happening in Kaduna State, for instance. The state government is championing quality over quantity. Where does the role of teaching come into play and having effective teachers in their profession?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, all Nigerians will be very pleased with quality education. And there cannot be quality education without quality teachers. Because actually, even when we are talking of out-of-school children, and you are bringing the children to school, you need the teacher to be able to retain these children. That's the basic fact. You need the teacher to retain these children in school. And what the Kaduna State Governor is doing is in the right direction to make sure that we get quality teachers to teach our children, okay? And I'm sure, you know, with the current rapprochement between the government and the labor unions, especially the Nigerian Union of Teachers in Kaduna State, I think we are both seeing reason to make sure that we all come together to forge a formidable force to address the issue of quality, because all of us are concerned about quality of education. And anyone that is concerned about quality of education will be concerned about quality of delivery. And that's why the teacher is very, very critical in this. And so we we want to see that what is being done is replicated in some other states, whereby we look at how can we enhance the quality of our education system. Because when we did the last retreat, the presidential retreat, where we look at on education, where we x-ray so many of the factors, it was discovered that, look, the issue of out-of-school children came up, and also the issue of providing quality education came up. And we discovered that the teacher is key to this quality education, because the teacher is central. When you are talking of education delivery, and that's why in TRCN, that is our major focus. Okay, the major focus of the Teachers Education Council of Nigeria is to enhance the competence and the quality of the teachers.
Professor Josiah Ajiboye, the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria Registrar and CEO. You're watching News Across Nigeria. When we come back, the Cross River State government donates food and relief materials to Cameroonian refugees. Please stay with us.